Hello, welcome to another exciting adventure of Dad's Train Room. Today we're going to be doing interviews with a very remarkable layout and the young man who designed it and built it of a grass fire. Why would somebody make a layout of a grass fire? We asked him, and it's fantastic looking. He even told me once that somebody grabbed a fire extinguisher and tried to put out his layout. So he was pretty impressed. We're also starting to work on what we introduced earlier as our fairy tale table. I don't know if it's going to end up being the fairy tale table, but a lot of the design components that we put into it, we're doing. So we're waiting to see how it ends up happening. Often in life, you imagine it one way, but by the time you get there and you get it done, it may not exactly turn out that way. It's usually pretty impressive. So hopefully this will be very impressive, or hopefully it'll be very impressive. So I have my jig I made for the tunnel, so I can keep the distance between the two sides. This tunnel design gives me plenty of room for my trains and plenty of room to look up inside it. So put this here. I mark the outside radius. We're working over here today. To make it easier, we mark, Now I know how far out my tunnel goes, and I know that this is my work area. Now that we have everything marked, so I know how far out my tunnel goes, we're going to cut a piece for right here to raise it up just a little bit. That way not everything's at the same level. It gives a little more depth to it. I'm reusing a piece here. It's actually one that Andrew used before. I'm reusing a piece here that actually Andrew had used before for his HO scale layout. But for what we're doing, none of this is even going to show. And it gives me just what I want. It's a little bit of a raised surface. Hey Andrew. Did you hear about the girl who only would take classes on the second floor?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, she was trying to get a higher education.
No.
Here, we're going to put some Mod Podge on the back of this, stick it down, and just kind of pin it with a couple of nails so it doesn't move around. This is mainly just to make sure it doesn't float on us. put a little weight on this. Okay, so here's a bit of train trick here. This one's a little short for what we want, but we're going to lay this one in here. I'm thinking about a 45-degree angle from here, and we'll cut it off, and that should work out fairly nice. Now that I've got my idea down, I went ahead and cut a piece of track with some 45s in it with a little handsaw. I like doing things by hand. Just line it up. Making sure that none of it overhangs the edge, because I'm going to have pieces here at the end that are see-through. And then we'll just pin it in place for now.
The idea started out when I was an older teenager. I was at a crop dusting strip and everybody yelled, "Hey, we have a problem, let's go." And everybody jumped into pickup trucks and all. They had a tanker truck half full of water, and I didn't know where we were going. And we were going out to a grass fire, and it was summertime, real windy, and I had to fight that grass fire with these burlap sacks and water and shovels. And every time we thought we'd have it, it jumped behind us. And it really was scary. We barely got it out before we ran out of water. Well, it just imprinted on my memory, that event. And then I was looking at different things, and I had this fiber optic stuff that I'd gathered from a thing I think came from Spencer's Gift. I don't know if you remember, but they used to do these flower light displays with a circle deal. And I had these 2 or 3 of these things that were broken. And I thought, well, maybe I could do something with this. So I made the first module and I cut out that shape, and that left a little 16-inch gap all the way around that cutout. And I put a little depression in it, whatever. But I started gluing these fiber optics about 1 inch a night around that thing. It took a while to do it, and I'll show you how it's put together. But anyway, I did that and then made the color wheel out of a piece of a picture frame. And I took that paint that you buy at Michael's for these sun catcher things you put in a window, and I dribbled it on it until I got the effect I wanted with regard to the color density. And I put that on the little motor. The only thing is I put 2 halogen bulbs in it to get the brightness I needed, but they get so hot. So because they were melting that color wheel, I had to put a little pancake fan off of a computer underneath it, and it cools it, keeps it cool. And then in the evening, like when we shut this thing down, we'll unplug the lights first and leave the color wheel turning in the fan, and it'll cool down before we turn the whole thing off. Otherwise it melts the color wheel. But it worked out really well, and we've had great response. In fact, the first time I set it up was in Tyler, Texas at a train show, and we were setting up, and a gentleman that was running the show was walking about 15 feet away from it, and he broke in a run for a fire extinguisher. He thought the layout was on fire. Yes, that's good. So that was kind of cool. But everybody's got a big kick out of it. It's been a real hit, and I've really enjoyed building it, because I tell people that this is my therapy. It's cheaper than psychiatrist, and I'm really not kidding. And then all the people that come up and admire it and ask about it and everything like that makes it all worthwhile. It's just a lot of fun. So it's been a reward. The whole thing's been rewarding, but the grass fire particularly has been a good draw and a good center of interest for what we do.
Can you show us under the curtain, so to speak?
Yeah, be glad to.
Alright, so can you get the behind this?
Basically just
right there.
A motor and a homemade color wheel, and then you orient the lights under where I had mounted the fiber optics where they terminate, and the light shines up through the fiber optics. And then the other thing I did is I ran the fiber optics up into the trees with the wire. The trees are made out of wire and fiber optics.
Up here?
So you have the sparkles up in the trees, and then I made a mistake, and I nicked one of the base of one of the trees, and I noticed if you scrape the edge of the fiber optics, light comes out. So it made this little deal right here, And I thought, well, that looks pretty cool. So then I scraped the edge of some of the others to let the light out, and then I put the trunk over here, which I think added a little bit to it. So anyway, the only thing I've not been able to add to it that I wanted to was smoke. Every smoke generator that I've been able to research leaves a residue, a horrible residue, and over time it will ruin the display. So I've not been able to come up with a smoke idea that will generate smoke that won't harm the display. But I think that would be a good effect if I can somehow incorporate that into it.
That is one of my favorite displays. I mean,
well, thank you.
I never would have thought of grass fire, but it comes out really well.
Well, like I said, that one I fought back when I was probably 18 or 19 years old, it was really scary, and it really kind of imprinted on my mind how aggressive those things can be and how dangerous they are. And it just stuck with me, so I thought, well, we'll try that with the fiber optic. The only other thing I was thinking about is running them around like a marquee for a movie theater or something like that, but I thought this would make a lot better effect if I could pull it off. And so it turned out pretty good.
Yes, it did. It turned out really good. I need to do one of those on my layout at some point.
Yeah, have at it, and I'll give you, anybody who wants contact information to ask more questions about it. Anybody who wants to replicate anything I've done, because most of my ideas I got from somebody else. So we just share ideas, whatever it is, and it's, in fact...
Wasn't it Mozart that said, no really good composer ever got where he was, stopped stealing from somebody else?
I don't know, but it sounds right to me. And we all build on somebody else's shoulder.
Now, the little campfire you have over here, is that coming off of the same?
No, that's 3 blinking LEDs is all they are. It's a very simple way to do that. The other way to do that is to take an incandescent light bulb and to put 2 diodes in line with it to hook it to a little transistor radio on something like a rock station or a rap station.
Yeah.
And it would cause a really neat flicker that looks realistic. In fact, sometimes it looks a little better than that. But that's just 3 light LEDs, as is the welder down on the corner. The welder is just 3 different color blinking LEDs.
Yeah, I saw it inside the little...
Yeah, and I've got aluminum foil up in there to make it reflect.
Yeah.
Just put, as a mirror kind of.
Thank you very much, Skip.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Good to meet you guys. Good luck with your channel.
We really appreciate you letting us see it.
Thank you, anytime. And then the only other thing, this is a fiber optic here. You'll notice that left turn signal is blinking on that car.
Right here, buddy.
You can move around this way to see it. And it's just a fiber optic going out down to a blinking LED.
Yeah.
And I tell people that if they reach inside the window and move the little handle up on the steering column, that the other one will blink. People really look at me funny.
As you can tell, I'm setting up the layout. I'm showing you what I'm doing, but I'm not going into a whole lot of details on why I'm doing it or what I'm putting where. You're on the adventure with me. Can't wait to see how it turns out. If you have any ideas on something that you think would work well, leave it in the comments. I love to hear from people. I'm a people person. So, until next time, I hope you enjoyed the interview. We have more to come. Next time, we're going to have slot cars. Somebody actually brought slot cars to the train show. And we're going to great interview with him, and we can't wait to show you that.